My name is Aurora, and I'm an aspiring pediatric nurse practitioner. My practice started back in college, but I've been working at the local city hospital as a nurse for a couple of years now. I dreamed of becoming a better pediatrician because I always knew it was my true calling. Personally, my father was not thrilled. He wanted my sister Agatha and I to marry rich suitors as soon as possible. Agatha might not have minded, but the thing is, she was already dating one man, and between you and me, he was actually married at the time. Let's skip the morals because she wouldn't listen to me, and neither did our father. She always did what she liked, no matter what. Sometimes I thought she was evil in the flesh because not everyone would dare to break up a family, but she was willing to do it. There's no problem with married people. They provide for you, they shower you with compliments, they're stable, my sister used to say. Yeah, well, you won't get married. But I won't have to work. They support me, and I'm fine with it. I can't post a photo with them, but whatever. I got a new iPhone. What about you? You drive with your animals. I'm not a vet. I'm a pediatrician, Agatha. Whatever, who cares? Neither of them can talk properly anyway. Yeah, I wish my medics could hear you. Whatever. Dad's going to make some kind of statement tonight. We should get dinner. Oh, what's this envelope? I told my sister that a terrible thing happened at work today. A sick child was brought in with a high fever, he had febrile seizures, and in an emergency, I took him into the office. At that time, one of the local deputies came to see our head doctor. He told us to take a look at his son. His arm was wounded. This was something less significant, a wound. I asked them to wait because we had a more emergency patient, and of course, he didn't like it. He complained to the chief, and he made me let the kid with the fever through, but his limbs were already numb. I said that I'd put a candle in him and let him wait, but they yelled at me in front of all the patients. And what did you do? Afterwards, they made me resign. What? You worked there for so long and they fired you? That's why I don't work. It's a thankless job. You know, Agatha, not everyone can make money like you do. I want to work in a good clinic, but they won't let me without an internship in Europe, and it's all on my own. Expensive. Which is why I'd rather do this than grovel for a pittance like you. Anyway, my man told me that he is going to marry me. I think I fell in love with him. I'll just wait. Afterwards, my sister and I went to dinner with my father where he made a statement that he wanted to marry one of us off, more specifically Agatha. She was chosen by one of the very powerful men in town, as it turned out. My father owed him money, and the man said he wanted to marry off his son. And since they had 2 daughters, he had to give one away for his debts. I'm sorry, Aurora. It's not that you're not beautiful, it's just he doesn't like doctors. So you're selling me out for debt? Unthinkable! I have no other choice. My business is on the verge of bankruptcy. What should I do? You'll live and get a divorce in 6 months. What's it to you? You're still going to go out with just anyone. Agatha was hurt by those words. Yes, I agree, they were unnecessary, but Dad was upset too. He wasn't happy about it himself. When Agatha left angry, he admitted that the man would get his way, either good or bad, but he would still get it. I hugged my father and went to see Agatha outside. She was smoking, and I tried to calm her down, but it didn't work. I'll pay for your internship in Europe. What? Why? For going on dates with Frank or whatever, instead of me. What? No. They don't know what either of us looks like anyway, and I have my man. I can't leave him, you know? Maybe he will marry me, and he's rich and I love him. Come on, help me out. I had no choice, so I said yes. I didn't realize then what I was getting myself into. I went to my first date and met such a handsome man that I even forgot to introduce myself as Agatha. I almost said my real name, but then I came to my senses. He was staring at me, and I was embarrassed. As soon as the waiter came, I ordered a beer. They were both surprised, and I was like, "Why, do you mind?" He smiled and said, 2 beers. I'll have one too. Damn, I didn't see that coming. I thought he was going to resent me, but he didn't. Then I drank the whole mug in one gulp, trying to pretend that I was used to it, but I choked. Tears flowed from my eyes and snot from my nose, and the spicy noodles I'd been chewing sneezed out of my nostril. All of this in full view of him. I grabbed for some tissues and felt so ashamed and embarrassed, but Frank just smiled. I started giggling and couldn't stop. I sat around gossiping about Hollywood stars to try and make him bored, and later told him I was going home. He followed me in, said he was seeing me off, and I decided to embarrass him. I started singing in a nasty voice next to the street musicians, but Frank applauded even there. In the evening, he said, "You don't think I like you like that?" And I was confused. I didn't think he'd guess. I lied to him, told him he was my type, and left. I told my sister it was a done deal, and she promised me my money. But Frank didn't let up on that. He kept asking me out, and I kept refusing. Finally, he showed up at my work, where a baby was screaming and I couldn't calm him down, and Frank did it in no time. He asked me out in public, and the kids started demanding that I say yes. There was nothing left for me to do, so we went to the cafe after work. It was a wonderful evening full of music, dancing, and laughter. I fell in love with him from the first time I met him, and I really wanted to be with him, but he thought I was Agatha. Frank kissed me after we twirled down the street to street music. I went home euphoric. Little did I know, Agatha and Dad were sitting there, ready to meet me. Dad was so angry. He'd seen me with Frank, and then he made Agatha tell him everything. He yelled so hard, I got scared. "How could you betray me? You're setting me up! Agatha, you will marry him, period!" my father yelled. There was nothing left to do. Agatha started going out with him and told him everything. But she came home in good spirits, said they liked each other and that her married man was off anyway. It broke my heart, but I didn't show it. I still wanted to say goodbye to him, though. I walked over to his car one night and wanted to leave a letter, but I was suddenly surrounded by security. "We know who you are. Let's not spoil it," they said. They grabbed my arms hard and painfully, took the letter away and said something, and I left. In the morning, I had to go to work. Frank was waiting there for me. "You're just gonna let me go? Don't you like me?" "What are you doing here? Go away. There are kids here. They're scared." "I'm not leaving. Doesn't what we had mean anything to you?" "No, I'm sorry. You're not my, type." I could barely get these words out. I was hurt. I couldn't bear to say something that wasn't true, but could I have done otherwise? I just needed the money. Agatha promised to pay me, so I'll be leaving soon. I thought that was it. He was leaving, and I was tearing up inside. I went into the bathroom and cried bitterly. A week later, my sister burst into the room and showed me a ring. Frank had proposed to her. "What? And you said yes?" "Well, yeah, they wanted to marry us anyway, so why not? Especially since he's so handsome and rich. I don't mind." "He's not a toy. Frank's a good guy. All that matters is he's got money." "So you don't care about him? Don't you love him?" "Sis, you've got to learn in this life. When you stop treating your animals, you'll realize the world isn't such a kind place." "I'm a pediatrician, not a vet." "Who cares?" In the evening, she asked me to go with her to the wedding dress parlor to help her with her fitting. We got there, and I saw Frank. It made me uncomfortable. I was sitting on the couch, staring at the floor, while Agatha was hanging around the window display and trying on looks. "What's that? What are those bruises on your arms?" "It's nothing." "What's nothing? Where did they come from? Who hit you?" Then Agatha came out. "Ooh, your stupid guards are going to pay for twisting my sister's arms. By the way, she didn't know it was your car," she said, and went on to measure her dress. "What does she mean?" "I went to your car to leave a letter. Agatha doesn't know, don't tell her. I said I hit your car and security twisted my arms." "What letter?" "My letter. To you." "About what?" "To say goodbye. I thanked you for—" I couldn't hold back my tears and cried. Then Frank understood. When Agatha came out, he asked her if she had paid me, and my sister told him that I'd refused to accept the money. Frank kissed me right away. My eyes almost popped out of my head. "What about Agatha?" She freaked out, of course, but Frank wrote her a check, and she said, "Welcome, kinsman. By the way, Aurora, we never kissed, just so you know." Then there was a tough conversation to be had with my dad, but Frank's dad approved of our relationship, So, another time, my sister and I went dress shopping again. This time, for me. Tell me guys, did you like my story? Write your opinion about it in the comments below the video. Don't forget to like it, share the video with your friends, and subscribe to the channel.